Now, back at Decode Genetics in Iceland, founder Kari Stephenson has been looking at a similar and possibly controversial topic: how our genes shape our bodies, our minds, and our personalities.
I can tell you how we can use genetics to explore in a way the nature of man.
His most recent scientific paper has been looking at how that relates to one of the developed world's biggest health problems.
If there is one condition that predisposes to more diseases than anything else, it is obesity. Obesity predisposes to heart failure, to liver diseases, to osteoarthritis, to type 2 diabetes. It predisposes to an incredible number of all kinds of diseases.
Now, some people are genetically predisposed to become obese. Their genetic makeup means that they're just more likely to overeat. Not all of these people do become obese, it's just more likely. And of the people who don't have those genes, well, some of those will also become obese for other reasons. So Decode set about trying to answer the question, which is it that makes these diseases more likely? Is it obesity itself, or is it the genetic tendency for obesity? And it turns out that you are not simply cursed by your genes to get ill.
And that genetic tendency has no impact on these diseases. So it is purely the obesity itself that predisposes to the disease. And then we ask the question, what is it then that this genetic tendency has an impact on? Which part of our biology, which part of our being is being influenced by this genetic score for obesity? And indeed we showed that the greater your genetic tendency to become obese is, the worse you perform on all kinds of tests of cognitive function. Your verbal IQ is less, your performance IQ is less, your trail-making test is worse, your education is less. Obesity itself has no impact on cognitive function, so you don't become stupid by becoming obese. But the genetic aberration that makes you lose control of eating behavior has an impact on many other functions of your brain.
So obesity makes you susceptible to other diseases regardless of your genes. But the gene which makes obesity more likely does affect your intelligence. The researchers then looked at the data from the other direction and asked, does your personality, and specifically your ability to solve problems, tell you anything about how your physical body might develop? And here they found that the better your visual and spatial ability, the more likely you are to have the genetic tendency for obesity and all those obesity-related diseases. You're also less likely to be curious and creative, but also less likely to suffer from psychiatric conditions like schizophrenia. However, if you score higher on verbal ability, you'll have less risk of obesity and related diseases. You are more likely to be curious and creative, but also you'll have a greater risk of schizophrenia.
And what fascinates me about this is that the way in which you are genetically hardwired to solve problems has an impact on the composition of your body.
Just give me a minute. I'm working it out for myself at the moment. I hope we all are. I know where I am on that, or at least I think. Oh my God.